Welcome to this edition of Super Swimmer, your window to the world of African and world aquatics. Today we honour our elite swimmers that medalled at the World Aquatics Championships in Singapore recently. Then we look at the second edition of water safety in the Drakensberg region, KZN. Finally, Africa Aquatics Zone 4 from Eswatini. We look at highlights from this exciting 4-day event. Check it out right here on Super Swimmer. The Bombela Concession Company and Swimming South Africa recently hosted a breakfast in Rosebank, Johannesburg. The Director of Programs, Mafata Madutwane, introduced the President of Swimming South Africa, Alan Fritz.
It's certainly an honor for me to be here and make sure that we honor our athletes. We've just come off a very, very great World Championships. And you know that Bombela saw it fit to invest in our organization financially with one rider that the athletes have to benefit in terms of logistic support, competition support and incentives for them. Today we're announcing the incentives for the athletes that has gone beyond the call of duty and made our country proud in terms of bringing home silverware. So our announcement today is financial incentives for our athletes. For athletes, at gold was 30,000 Rand, silver was 20,000 Rand, and a bronze was 10,000 Rand. So you can do the calculation. And to our coaches as well that has achieved a similar fate, the Federation announced a 10,000 Rand for gold, 7.5 for silver and 5,000 Rand for bronze, so that the coach benefits as well as an incentive. We know it is far-reaching from real good incentives, but we're working towards it. And we hope that little incentive would spur on our athletes in terms of their preparation. The future of South African swimming, and in particularly aquatic sport, is indeed bright. Our biggest obstacle, of course, remains facilities. We don't have one facility that can host an international event. We barely have a facility to host our national event. So we're asking our country to wake up and build facilities, not only swimming facilities, but facilities for sport, because that's where we're going to turn the tide against every evil in this country. And get our young kids active from a very early age. And we really require a facility or facilities that would allow us to invite other countries into our beautiful country.
Yes, thank you to Swimming SA and Bombela for the support. I think we've wanted that for a long time. We've wanted someone to invest in swimming a little bit, and especially for the younger swimmers who are very supported by the parents. Whenever they have to compete, it's always the parents' investment that gets them there. And not only the travel, but everything. Swimming is actually an expensive sport. It might not seem like it, but it really does add up. So yeah, we're very excited and happy to have Bombela supporting us. And then I just also would like to say thank you to the media and the people online, because we really felt the support from back home while we were there. We were raised here, we live here, we breathe the African air. So we love representing the country. So yeah, a big thank you to everyone who played a part in that and getting more eyes on the sport, because I think that's what we really need, especially for the next generation, financially especially. So yes, just big thank you to everyone.
Yeah, I think that what Pieter said really summarized it very well, that we really appreciate everyone watching, everyone tuning in, people caring about the sport, because at the end of the day, this is literally what we do. We give so much up for the sport, and I think for the country as well, just really living in a place where we are trying to perform, not just for ourselves, but at the end of the day, when you're standing on the podium, it being my first international medal, it was a really big moment for me. not watching someone winning a medal from the stands, which is just as incredible, but finally getting onto the podium, it was a really big deal for me. So I just want to thank everyone who supported me while I wasn't on the podium and while I was working my way towards that. And I think, finally we have sponsors who are willing to put down the incentives and willing to put down money when you then perform. And I think it's also really important, something that I want to also just highlight is that it's not just the athletes that are getting incentives, but I mean our coach Rocco Meyering, who actually deserves more than anyone else, who works with a gajillion swimmers every single day, and I think that he was the one who really wasn't sleeping for like 8 days straight. I think he's the one that really deserves a lot more than what we think, and it really makes my heart a lot happier. I mean, getting an incentive for myself is great since I'm relying on myself financially and I don't have parents who support me. I think that's something that is really cool and really amazing, but I think on top of that is to know that my coach is also getting something from this. And I really just think that now we have the ball rolling in terms of in terms of medals and in terms of things going the way that we've wanted to, and I think that we've constantly shown that we are definitely have juniors who are coming up as well, and we have people performing all the time, and I think at the end of the day now we just need facilities. So when we get the facilities to get the Americans into South Africa, we'd like to race them here. Thanks guys.
Especially as a junior, being on that stage and seeing the type of performances our seniors have provided, it's honestly so humbling and so amazing just to see that we've got the depth in South Africa. We don't have the facilities that the other countries have. We don't have some of the support, but we are getting there. So thank you to the sponsors. But it's so incredible to see that we are providing and producing these performances with what we have at the moment. And I think for a junior especially, it's just so incredible having the support of all the senior athletes and just swimming a race and knowing it's not for you, but it's for your country and for the greater good of everything, and just knowing that you're following along in these footsteps of these great people, like right in our messages, and people that we know are there to support us, that we can call, that are a message away just to ask for support. So I think it's just so incredible, and I want to thank all the seniors as well as being a junior, just for having everyone's back and just being there for us. So thank you.
I think it's honestly incredible. I think I think Kaylene touched on this earlier, I think it's incredible that the coaches get an incentive too. I think their commitment to our careers kind of gets overshadowed by us, and I mean, we wouldn't be the swimmers we are today without our coaches. So I think that foremost I'm so excited and happy about that. When they announced that, I was over the moon. They deserve a lot more credit than what they get, but I think it's really incredible for the swimmers as well. Swimming not being a very lucrative sport as it is, I think just to have that tiny little extra bit of motivation, I think goes a long way. And I think it's so awesome for the junior swimmers, because I remember being a junior and it was quite intimidating knowing that going into your future of your swimming career, there wasn't a huge amount of money that was available for sponsorships and for incentives and to live off of. So I think for the juniors looking into the future, it's a really nice thing to see, and I think it's going to be a really big motivating factor that hopefully will streamline a lot of swimmers onto the podium. Yeah.
Yes, I think that it's definitely the first time I've ever heard of an incentive going towards or coming from Swimming South Africa and their sponsors going to the swimmers. So I think it's definitely a step in the right direction. We're finally getting to a place where swimmers are being incentivized for doing well, and I think that at the end of the day, the dream would be that we get to a point where we have so many sponsors where we are being paid monthly, as like a salary for being a professional athlete. But I mean, that's shooting for the stars. So I'm hoping that could be, if corporate South Africa can step up, then maybe.
Quite unusual to see 4 women on the podium, of course, Corbett and Shmushka.
Yeah, I think it's a great step forward. I think it's something we've wanted for a long time, and Swimming South Africa has tried to get for a long time. And yeah, we're very grateful to get incentive for our performances, and hopefully this can be long term, and hopefully it can support the parents of the younger swimmers for, you know, World Junior Championships or World Championships. If you swim a B time, I believe you have to pay as well. So just hopefully it can support costs for athletes more as well as the incentives as well, because I think that's a big thing for motivation, especially for the younger guys.
Pieter Coetze, 51.85. It's a subject.
Super Swimmer is in the northern Drakensberg. Amongst the farmland and urban small holdings lies the Woodstock Dam, an earth-filled dam with a surface area of 30 square kilometers.
So our programs usually they target the whole variety of age groups. So in this particular one, we targeted the school because it was definitely our first one in this area. So that's why we went through schools to target the little ones. But now, in future, we're going to target everyone in this area, whoever who comes in this dam to come and wash, to come and fish, and to do everything. So we'll be having these constant programs in this area.
It is important to learn how to swim. Sometimes there will be someone who is in danger. You shall help him. You shall swim to him and save him, like you will become a lifeguard of his or her.
Well, a message to all the parents is that if we bring such programs, we really do need their support in terms of also coming to such programs so they can see what we teach the kids, even the schools, the principals, the educators. They can come and see for themselves what we do in the water. I know that there was a misconception that we will be feeding their kids to snakes. I think the past 2 days have proved that there's no such. Kids gained a lot of knowledge. Most importantly, they had fun. So it's very, very important that the community supports such initiatives.
It's important to learn how to swim, because if you're near the water, if someone is in danger, you're able to help her. And another reason is when you're near the water, you'll be able to save yourself.
Firstly, water is fun, so it is very important that we are cautious of dangers in and around water. So there are practices that we need to promote in and around water. For example, if you desire to swim in a dam, the first thing that you need to do is use a stick, for example, to measure the depth of the waters. And the most important thing, especially for children in and around this area.
When you are checking the water, you need to check with a stick. If you don't have a stick, if the water is deep, do not go in the water. You can go in the water when the water is not big.
You need to seek permission from your parents, as well as when you do enjoy or when you come to this area, it is also important that there's somebody who's going to be monitoring your movement. So it is very, very important that you never swim alone and you need to enjoy the water. Yeah. So for people who are starting to swim, it is very important that they assess the currents. I would advise that they do not go a bit further where the depth of the water is a bit deeper. It is very important that you swim near the shoreline so that it's easy for you, should there be any dangers, to just move away from the water into a safer environment. For example, for myself, I use certain techniques where we create a line, sort of like we talk to the fish and we listen to the fish, basically familiarizing the kids in and around water at smaller depths, you know. So that's what we do. We make sure that because children, when they enter the waters, some of them are very scared, and this is a rural area. There are stories behind dams that there are snakes, there are crocodiles, there are this and that. So they need to enjoy this environment by taking, as I said earlier on, precautionary measures. So to make the program more fun and more knowledgeable, we make sure that we provide the kids with swimming aids, such as noodles, kicking boards, as well as making sure that they are safe in the water, that they use the swimming caps and swimming goggles. So it is very important that we teach them how to breathe in water. For example, like blowing bubbles, taking deeper breaths and blowing bubbles in brief moments so that we don't make them, we don't stretch them a bit further because they are only starting. So it is important that we make the environment to be a learning environment firstly, and to be an enjoyable environment where we build as well confidence for the kids in and around water so that they're able to enjoy and they can advance to another stages in terms of their swimming programs.
Putting your face in, learning to float, your back and front, just those basics, so that if they get into trouble, they know if I put my face in the water and I float on my back, I can be able to kick and be able to exit the water. I can be able to lie on the front, kick and be out of the water. Those are just the basics.
Okay, the safety mechanism that you can use in order to save your friend is a homemade torpedo, which is made up of a 2-liter bottle as well as a rope. You can tie the rope around the neck of a used water bottle and then make sure that there's a little bit of water inside. Maybe if it's a 2-liter bottle, make sure that there's a liter of water inside so that you are able to throw to save your friend who is in trouble, as well as use a stick. The stick can also play a critical part in saving your friend, because we know that in this area there are a lot of drownings when children are trying to save their friends while they are struggling to breathe or to swim in water. So it is very, very important that they use those safety mechanisms to save themselves and then to save the friend that is also drowning.
Everyone, now is summertime. You have to ask a grown-up to have water lessons to swim.
What I would like to add as Swimming South Africa is that let us use these opportunities that we create in these areas, because swimming is a life skill. You can save your life through swimming, and you can also save your friend's life, your family, like whoever's life in the water. So I would encourage the communities to participate in these programs. It can be the roller splash, dam splash, pool splash, ocean splash. They are all the same because they give you water safety tips, and they also make you be water smart. So I would really encourage the communities not to take it lightly, just involve themselves in these programs.
Today it was the best day of my life. I learned to swim. Thank you, Swimming South Africa. You'll be able to shine in the next day.
Check out swimsa.org for water safety clinics in your area.